Hi, my name is Sierra Guest, and I will be doing a presentation on the deterioration of coral reefs. So the three main causes that I will be talking about today are climate change, pollutions, and human interactions. So the true definition of climate change is a change in global or regional climate patterns. They only have negative impacts on the coral reefs, such as temperature increasing, mass bleaching events, and major outbreaks of infectious disease. So the outcomes of these causes occur in the levels of high sea levels, changes to the frequency and intensity of tropical storms, and they alter circulation patterns in the ocean. So this picture just talks about basically everything that I talked about in the previous slide. So the warming oceans create a thermal stress on the coral reefs, which cause coral bleaching and infectious diseases. The high sea levels suffocate the coral reefs, and that causes them to smother of the coral. And changes in storm patterns, stronger and more frequent storms, which is really bad because it disturbs the way that they flow. And that causes destruction of the coral reefs, like I said. Changes in precipitation, increased runoff of fresh water, sediment, and land-based pollutions. So algae blooms, and which is pretty like what we're handling with right now with all the algae that's happening in the Gulf of Mexico and the red tide and all of that kind of stuff. So that just makes you think of what is really going on. Altered ocean currents, so change in connectivity and temperature regimens. So lack of food, which is really bad because fish live in these coral reefs, and these coral reefs strive off of these fish. Going back to the red tide, you go to the beach and you wake up and you see all the dead fish on the floor, on the sand. Obviously, these aren't the fish that live in the coral reefs, but there's a whole ecosystem and a food chain. And so if these dead fish are sweeping up onto our shores, the little fish that live in the coral reefs won't strive. Therefore, the coral reefs will die. So it also talks about how you can help. So shrink your footprint and reduce greenhouse gases. A way of doing that is to print less, download more, and use less water. Another way is to purchase energy efficient applicants and light bulbs. So that's something that people really strive for, and we don't really put into we don't really think about stuff like that just because a light bulb is a light bulb, it gives off light. But there are different ones like LED. I know that's really good for the system. Do your overall part to help the coral reef's condition. So reduce the use of lawn and gardening chemicals. So reduce pesticides and that kind of stuff. Learn about the good reef etiquette and practice when in the water. So I know when my family goes to the beach, we do whatever we want, which really puts into reality of what we're doing to our ocean and how much damage we really are doing. Another one is to volunteer for the beach and waterway cleanup. So when my niece just turned 9, her biggest request for her birthday was to go to the beach with all of her Girl Scout friends and to help clean up the beach. And people actually stopped, including police officers that work on the beach, and thanked her. Because she's only 9 and she's already making a massive difference. So it's estimated that by 2100, most marine animals will either be endangered or already extinct. So one of the solutions that I have for this, there are some nature preserves for sea animals such as turtles. You can see this in Key Largo when you go to the lighthouse. There's a bunch of different sea turtle, habitats and nature preserves for them. You can go and visit them. You can hear about their stories and how they were injured. And they do get sent back into the ocean when they are healthy. There are also some reserves for coral reefs that help them grow, and humans physically help them reproduce. So another one is pollutions. There is roughly 260 million tons of plastic that are in the world that produce. An estimated 8 million tons will end up in our oceans. Overall, 100 marine life animals are killed each year because of the plastic debris. There's an estimated floating microplastic has increased 37 times from the previous estimates. These previous estimates took place in 2010. It is only 2018. It has multiplied 37 times. So there are already actions being taken for no more plastic straws and no more plastic to-go lids in different places. The main one that sticks out to me is places like Disney World and Disneyland, especially Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom does not give out plastic straws. They give out paper straws because people like to be jerks and like to throw them into the animal exhibits. Another one is human interactions. So human interactions has to be the main culprit, just because what else really can it be besides the other ones? And those are natural. So human interactions, excursions that people partake in during vacations, such as snorkeling, scuba diving, and deep sea fishing. But snorkeling is one of the main distractions because of fin kicks, pushing or holding coral, dragging gear, and kneeling, standing on coral. So one of the main things that no one thinks about is sunscreen. So sunscreen is part of everyone's basic beach routine. Helps us protected from the sun, etc. So sunscreen is overlooked but is the main culprits of bleaching and dying of the coral reefs. Sunscreen contains oxybenzone and is believed to be tied into the bleaching, deformation, DNA damages, and even the death of the coral reefs. So, beginning January 1st, 2021, Hawaii will ban the sale, offer of sale, or distribution of any sunscreen containing oxybenzone without prescription from a licensed healthcare provider, stated by the CNN. So this last picture is just a picture of the before and after of the coral reefs. The coral reefs are known to be beautiful, light, bright, a bunch of different animals such as seahorses, sea turtles, all of that kind of stuff. And then this picture on the side is just it brown and it white, and there's no fish swimming around. And that just really, this picture really, struck me at heart because I love Florida and I love going to the coral reefs. I want to eventually go to Australia and visit my cousins there, and they live in Sydney, Australia, which is known for the Great Barrier Reef. And hopefully I will go see that soon, but if actions aren't being taken, then it'll turn into something brown and white and gross. So this is my presentation on the deterioration of coral reefs. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you.